What up, Luke?
What's up, man?
What's going on?
Uh, Snacking on some leftover jelly beans from Easter.
Leftover jelly beans, nice. Are you?
Nice.
Do you like
Yeah.
do you eat the black ones, the black licorice ones?
No, I didn't. The ones I got were like like I don't know.
Oh, like
They didn't.
neon color ones?
No, they were just like normal jelly beans, but like more of a gourmet. Anyways, why the hell are we talking about jelly
I
beans?
don't know, man. Just make a conversation.
Yeah. So what's good, man?
Nothing much. Just talking to a bunch of people in chat.
How many hours you sunk into this beta so far?
I think when I started tonight, I had 20, almost 21, I think, and so you can probably 23 hours right now.
Right on. Right on. Yeah, I haven't had time to put quite that many hours into it quite yet. So I
Actually,
don't know.
that
I can't handle like more than an hour at a time before I kind of gotta take a little break and stretch my legs. It's not good to sit in one spot.
Whoa, hold up. I think I got a hacker on stream again.
No kidding. Well, you've got a delay. I've got you pulled up here, so I won't
Hold
be
up.
able to see.
Yeah, watch this silent guy here. He just kind of floated up to the top of the windmill.
Huh.
The fuck? Actually, yeah, no, that can't be right. I think the beta counted my alpha hours too.
Okay.
Yeah, there's no way I put that much time into this.
Yeah, I was like, man,
Yeah.
that's a lot of time.
Yeah, no, there's no way. Angel called it, yeah. Yeah, he floated. Yeah, this dude's cheating. This dude's cheating. I'm calling him out. Silent, you are a big fat phony. Yo, what time is it right now in this stream? An hour and 45. Alright.
Yeah. Somebody timestamp that. I'm still waiting for the footage to catch up. Let me see here. On my end. It's still he's still shooting out of the window.
Oh, yeah, you missed it then, because he floated up to that window.
Oh, okay. I thought I
Hour
saw him
45.
zip up, but anyways. Yeah, so much for all that Steam security or whatever the hell everybody's been talking about on TRS, so that we don't have to worry about cheaters. That it's just all offline. That it's not going to happen on the servers, but
Yeah. You talking about that, like, analytics thing, or?
yeah, yeah. Hope and wishful thinking isn't going to do anything about hackers.
No, no. Even Steam VAC is kind of a joke at some points.
Actually, the more hopeful you are about it, the tastier the tears are as they lick them off your cheek. So, but anywho, I hope they do something, man, because yeah, those weren't just basic simple glitches. I mean, those were completely broken, manipulated mechanics, and if they
Yep.
can, I mean, it looked a lot like Code 9. So I don't know. It does have some things that are classic SOCOM, I guess you could say.
Yeah. Let's get your opinion. So if you were to, what, like when you say classic SOCOM, what do you think? Crosshairs?
Well, that was kind of a sarcastic joke about there being cheaters already.
Oh, okay. I see. I see.
That's kind of what I meant. I don't know. I hear a lot of people say. I mean, I've been jumping in all kinds of streams, been kind of finding stuff to kind of highlight, just so everybody out there who's not part of the beta or doesn't have a PC can just really see raw gameplay, really see what the experience is going to be like, so to speak. So.
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of different opinions. It's really interesting. I haven't really seen these kind of attitudes up until the last couple iterations of SOCOM. So they seem very familiar territory. Aside, and I'm being objective about this. I know there's a lot of people out there that want to know about drama and know about the history and partnerships and all that stuff, and I don't care about that shit right now. Like I'm just talking about the game as is, what I'm experiencing here. So I don't want anybody out there to think that what I'm saying is completely biased or trying to sway or influence anybody. I mean, I'm just giving you what I think is as far as the game is concerned. But I've seen a lot of people say that it feels like SOCOM, it looks like SOCOM. I don't have the same opinions, I guess. I've played a lot of games in the beta and alpha stages over the years. I mean, hell, I'm about to be 35 years old. I mean, I was popping my cherry on Mario and Zelda when I was 4.5 years old. Arcade Rat, that was the original multiplayer online gaming, was walking into your local mall and, squeezing as many dollar bills out of your mom as you possibly could so you wouldn't annoy her while she was trying to hit up the sales. And you'd go in there, and if you were a good gamer, man, you'd spend your money wisely. I mean, I could stretch out a couple bucks for a couple hours, depending on what game I played. But so, I mean, I've tested a lot of games. I've seen a lot of things in early builds. And this is just really rough. I mean, there's a lot of just basic mechanics that are in a game that definitely need to be tweaked and overhauled and worked. So to me, it seems a little bit rushed. I've been hearing 8 months of these updates and mocap, and we've been doing all these polls for all this time. Even before David Sears left, I mean, 10 or 11 months ago, they were talking about how they were already exploring Unreal Engine 4 and, how they had rebuilt the church in Sismus, and they, the timeline back then was, a couple months, we'll have a lot of this stuff ported over, and then everything kind of goes dark, and then everybody's asking where David Sears is, and sure enough, we find out he's gone. And it seems like then there was a complete blackout on gameplay footage, and then we just started getting these updates, and then for people who have been following this for a long time, I mean, we can pull back all this community involvement for years, and I mean, this project's been going on for almost 2.5 years now, if you count when the studio's LLC was officially established, and bringing David Sears in, and originally they were working on a mobile game, and then they switched that over, and they were having good meetings with investors, and I mean, this is 2 years ago. So I mean, I'm looking at all of this on this timeline and putting all of this into perspective, and then this is what we get. And then I saw footage of alpha. I know what you guys tested. I saw alpha footage within hours of it releasing in 1080p, beautiful footage, beautiful audio. I mean, I saw, as far as video quality is concerned, I should, clarify that. But so, I mean, I got to see what you guys played. I got to see how rough that build was. And then so hearing all of this leading up to that, and then seeing it, because I've never played H-Hour until this beta launch.
Right.
And in all the involvement that I've had, the falling out kind of happened before there was a playable build. And then so the drama kind of, burned to bridges, and that's that. But as a Kickstarter backer and as a Socom fan and a supporter in the early days, I still have access to this. So I had to wait my turn just like everybody else did. I don't see the feel. I don't. The look is a little bit. I mean, Russ has a certain style and a flavor to his art direction. I can definitely see that. Unreal Engine 4, has really good polys, and I mean, you can see that evident here in the game just on a basic level. I mean, if you put this in perspective on a competitive landscape as far as Steam goes and other indie developers and what's happened in the last couple of years, I mean, it's definitely below average. So there's nothing really impressive about that as far as I'm concerned. The character models and all that stuff, man, they looked awesome in the updates. And then we put them into the game, and I'm just not seeing the vision that's been portrayed for the last, couple of years. And there's two reasons for that. One is how it's been marketed and advertised from the studio. And secondly is my own damn nostalgia and my own damn hopes and desires filling in the blanks when questions weren't being answered, or we just didn't have access to that information. But from that, as far as Russ's art direction, I think that's good. Some of the maps are lacking some choke points. Wolf Run is kind of confusing. I'm not really seeing the thought process laid out on that as far as flow and choke points. I mean, maybe that's a completely different map designed around a specific game mode, and TDM is not that game mode for that map. I mean, that's a very big possibility. So I'm not feeling it on TDM. Sismus has its moments and its places, definitely. I think it offers a little too much vantage points. And the only reason that people aren't really seeing that yet is because the bullet spray is fucking horrendous. So you're not having that accuracy clear across the map, and so those vantage points aren't really being utilized. But that's going to be a problem later. But just if you take away just the quote-unquote pretty-looking characters, quote-unquote the pretty-looking maps, I'm not seeing the SOCOM. There's a few mechanics here and there that are from SOCOM. You've got the grenade arc, you've got prone, you've got a third person camera, you've got lean. But to me, there's so much more that defines the SOCOM recipe than that. And I called this months ago. I thought that we were going to get a shell of a generic third person shooter with a pinch of SOCOM and a whole lot of promises saying all the great SOCOM was coming later. And I think that's exactly what's happened. But at this point, I'm not worried about me. I'm beyond the concern of my own personal expectations and hopes and dreams for this project. I'm getting to the point where I'm beyond how the community thinks and feels about it as well, because I think there's a bigger problem. And that problem is, how is the early access going to be received when you are dealing with a consumer base that doesn't have 12, 13 years of nostalgia and emotion and community and friendships wrapped up in writing in on this? People who haven't invested hundreds of dollars and watched this thing go on like a fucking soap opera for years and have got dragged into it for all kinds of reasons. Those people are going to look at this bare bones, exactly what it is at face value. And that's what I've tried to do. That's the perspective I've tried to put myself in playing this. And I just, it's not ready. There definitely needs to be a delay on this. They definitely need to add a lot more features. I've always said that I would love to see SOCOM release on a different platform other than Sony. But that's because of the SOCOM recipe itself. And that recipe is not here. And that was the selling point, the competitive edge, the recipe, everything about that, the addictiveness, the arcadey, but yet tactical balance. All of those things are essential and a strong selling point, and that's what brings the community, the clans, the brotherhoods, the tournaments, the shit talk, the rivalries. It's all centered around and hinged on those things. And that's not in this game. And I don't know what the studio's idea is of 50% complete by the time of early access.
Yeah, I don't get that at all personally.
I don't know what that means. I don't know what percentage right now it's considered at. I don't even know what phase of development we're in right now. I've seen footage released labeled pre-alpha as a beta is going on.
Yeah. Right.
While alpha testers just saw the update happen 3 days ago, and then we're 2 weeks away from an early access phase. Like, I've never seen this many transformations of development in my entire life on a gaming project. So I don't know where we're at. I don't know. To me, this is not even to where the proof of concept was a year ago, and I'm even wondering, if SOCOM doesn't hinge on visual fidelity and the graphics and trying to wow you with that kind of artistry in gaming. Why was the Unreal 4 engine so important to switch over? I mean, I know it released, several months after they really created a nice vertical slice on Unreal Engine 3, but I don't think that necessarily meant they had to switch over to it. And so they had to have a reason for it, and I don't know what that reason is. I mean, was that more compatible for the PS4 port, or I mean, I don't.
That's
the logic.
Their reasoning. That's their reasoning, is that it makes it easier to port to PS4.
Yeah, but when you've got a project that hinges on so many what ifs in consecutive order, I don't think that putting too much on the PS4 is I don't know, is the wisest choice. I mean, they had a solid proof of concept. I mean, and I've seen that argument thrown around everywhere. I'm not the only person who thinks that. And I don't think that I would be out of place saying that I think a majority of SOCOM fans possibly feel that way as well. That thing had a load of SOCOM features. And it didn't even have mocap in it or anything. I mean, Sears put some spackle on that son of a bitch, if you know what I mean. I mean, it looked good and it had features. And it looked like SOCOM and a mixture of an evolution of SOCOM. I mean, I could visualize the future of the fan base in that build so much more than what I've seen here. And we've got a long road ahead of us. And I'm not here to say that nobody's capable of going down that road or willing to go down that road. I don't even want to have that discussion. But it all hinges on money. And we haven't had investors for this long this build needs a lot before it's going to bring in the kind of revenue stream from non-SOCOM fans in order to pave the road for the next 6, 8, 12 months that this game needs, for a full retail launch and start sizing up, however much it's going to cost to port to PS4. So those are the things that I'm thinking about and I'm looking at. And I'm just trying to I'm trying to look 6, 8 months down the road to figure out what's going to happen. Now, at any point in time, an investor could just roll up and slap a bag of money on the table. I mean, that could happen at any point in time, but then again, that could have happened at any point in time in the last 2 years. So, I mean, I don't know. I'm not happy with the game, but it's not about what I want. It's about what this community wants and what this community needs in order to house their clans, the competitive edge, and all that good stuff. So I'm more concerned about that and concerned about, of course, the future of H-Hour and Soft Studios, because so much hinges on the revenue generated in early access. So much hinges on that. And this, I mean, I applaud them for being an indie developing studio and being entrepreneurs and making it this far. That's a story in itself. I applaud that. But this is not going to create the revenue stream that they need. That's my honest opinion. And I can sit here and start nitpicking, and we can start talking about specific features and all that stuff. But to me, I can write you a laundry list a mile long of all the features that I personally think are missing from this game. But let's put that aside. Let's look at the features that are in the game, and those aren't even working right. That's very concerning to me. So that's all I got to say. I haven't even had a chance to read the chat. I'm just been here just rambling.
Yeah, well, they were asking questions. One of the questions they wanted to know was, do you think SOF can deliver?
I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I don't. They have some vets there that have, been involved with a lot of projects, and they have one or two that maybe this is their first major rodeo. Yeah. So anything can happen. I haven't been in that office to see, or wherever they're working out of. I haven't been there to see what they can do and what they're capable of. I just know we've been waiting a long time, and things were looking really good with Sears, and this is pretty rough. And I'm just looking at this, from the facts. So that's just how I see it. I don't know. I don't know what they're capable of and how long it would take them to do it. But if this is the centerpiece to create that revenue stream, if they have to go on without any type of official investors, it's going to be a problem. So I think they need to delay it, and let's really see if they can create that SOCOM recipe. They've got a generic shell of a third-person shooter that works. Yeah, there's some freezes and some lag and some stuff here. Really concerned about cheaters, but luckily that's not too big of a problem yet. Once things become really competitive, if they do become competitive, that will be an issue. But right now, that's not too big of a concern. I mean, people's clans' livelihoods and bragging rights and reputations are on the line here, so it doesn't really matter that much. So, I mean, I'm not a hater, man. That shit, I've been I've been involved with this shit for a long time and put in a lot of years. A lot of shit people don't even know about. Trying to see this game happen. So I wish them the best of luck. They're April 21st. I think things are going to fizz out real quick. And once again, it's going to be all on the backs of the SOCOM fans, and we can only carry it so far. I mean, there's only so much his fan base can do. I mean, we've given them a roadmap of what we want. We've given them our time. We've given them the PR, the advertising, the marketing, a big chunk of upfront investment to get the ball rolling. I mean, what else can we do?
Right? Yeah. I mean, they had it in the palm of their hand.
Well, they still do. They still do. But I mean, this is like bottom of the ninth inning, bases loaded,
right,
down by 3, 4, whatever.
Yep.
You have to hit a grand slam on the next pitch, pretty much.
Oh yeah, like that's what I'm saying. Like EA it's the breaking point. Like that is it. That's the tipping point. if it doesn't do well there, I mean, it's pretty much over, right?
Yeah. I don't know, I'm trying to catch up the chat here.
Yeah. Angel says if this game launches on EA this month, rest in peace. Well, and that's the main concern. Fuck, we were pushing for it to delay when they wanted to launch it in March, and they delayed it a month. I don't even know where I'm getting shot from anymore. Twitch forum. All I hear from you is speculation. Mars One rocks.
Who, me?
No, he's talking about Mars One rocks.
Oh, okay. I was like, I do speculate a lot. There's a lot of shit I know I can't talk about, too. I know people are tired of hearing that, but...
Yeah, oh yeah.
There's a whole other story.
Yeah.
People have no clue how deep that rabbit hole goes. But that can't be talked about, so...
Yeah.
But I've taken a vacation from that shit. And I'm just looking at this as a Socom fan. I'm concerned, man, and I'm not the only one. To me, it's a 50-50 split. There are people saying that, man, this does not look good, or it's completely done, and then the other half is like, this looks awesome, or it has potential.
Yep.
And I think I called that too. I think I called that last month.
You did.
30%, 30%, 30%. I said 30% will be happy, 30% will say it has potential, 30% will be pissed off and feel ripped off, and 10% will never hear from again. So we'll see if that happens in the next 2 weeks.
Slaughtermass. How many online competitive shooters were available when SOCOM 2 came out? In that era, I mean, the only thing on its level was Halo back then, I guess, right?
Yeah, I mean, Halo, Counter-Strike.
Counter-Strike, yeah.
I mean, SOCOM 2, PC has been way ahead of the curve when it comes to gaming.
Yeah.
I mean, SOCOM did launch the whole online PSN, if you will. It wasn't called that back then, but just the online PlayStation Network was launched through SOCOM. But I mean, that was just for that console, and they beat Xbox to the punch on that too as well. So when Halo did launch, it did get a late start, but then Halo surpassed SOCOM later. But when it came to PC, there were a lot bigger franchises, and that went on before SOCOM, and went on well after SOCOM, and are still really thriving today. So I mean, the PC world's not like impressed with SOCOM. If anything, they're going to say it's a third-person Counter-Strike is what they're going to try to say.
Right. I'm just teabagging Suede here for a little while. Oh yeah. Yeah, I mean that's where I'm at too. It's competitively on Steam, it has nothing to edge out any competition right now.
Yeah. I don't know, man.
Twitch forum. I don't know why you're so sure this game is going to fail. We're not sure. I mean,
I'm not sure. Yeah.
No, nobody has said that it's destined to fail. It's gonna fail. But I mean, the fucking the writing is almost on the wall here. It all depends, like I said, what happens in the next 12 days, 11 days.
Well, I mean, rumor has it we're going to get some kind of major patch tomorrow morning or something along those lines. So we'll see what that involves. I have a feeling that's going to be stuff like victory dances, maybe melee, maybe a few things tuned like the HUD, and maybe one or two things people have been really bitching about. Yeah. But I don't see like a dramatic transformation. I think that just happened. Yeah. And they're wrapping up the loose ends on that dramatic transformation as we speak. And I'm not saying this game's going to fail. I have no idea, and I hope it doesn't fail. You cannot find me one quote anywhere on the face of the internet that says I hope H-Hour fails. You won't find it because I've never fucking said it. My job, and one thing that I've always done and just been involved with, with TRS. And being involved, and this isn't the first rodeo for the TRS staff. We've been involved with, two other developers prior to this, being involved with just relationships behind the scenes and whatnot. With us, man, it's just going to be tough. That's the bottom line. I don't want it to fail. I hope it does succeed. My job is to keep a developer in check. and to know that, hey, whatever the biggest, most pressing issues are for the SOCOM community, to put those in the spotlight the best way I can, whether that's through journalism, whether that's through videos, whether that's sharing ideas behind the scenes with other people that have other communication networks, and letting them spread the cause, the information, the word, whatever it may be. It's all about empowering the consumers, and I support the fan base before I'll support a company. And in the best interest of the SOCOM community, I just see a lot of hurdles here and a lot of what ifs and things that need to happen. And I'm just having a realistic viewpoint on it. And to me, if they don't have some kind of delay to really put in some of that SOCOM, some of that magic, that secret sauce, the shit that's going to sell this whole fucking game, they need to put some more of that sauce in there. And they need more time to do it. I just don't. And I hope I eat my words. I hope you guys tweet me 3,000 fucking pictures of Crow on my Twitter. And I hope they drop a miracle patch and we're just blown away and we all jizz our pants and we all live happily ever after. If that happens, man, I won't care about TRS. I'll shut that son of a bitch down. We got our game. We move on and we're good to go. And we'll tell our kids about this day. That's fine with me. And y'all can paint pictures of me with cocks in my mouth, whatever you want to do. I don't care, for being the naysayer. I'm just saying I just see some concerns. And it ain't about me. It ain't about a fucking website. It's about this community and the struggle that we've had for this fucking long. And we've gone, this far. And don't forget, this whole studio was built by one of our own who went out and networked with these people. And it all snowballed into this. So I want people to remember that. This came from the community, supported, pushed, fueled by the community. And here we are. So these are the timelines. This is what we've seen. This is what we've been promised versus what we're actually playing. Put everything into fucking perspective because it's go time, especially if we're launching on the 21st.
Yep.
And nowhere in that thought process is there that I hope this game fails. So I just want to make that very clear.
Yeah. Afro Jared in the chat, he's getting very defensive about your opinions. I think he wants to know if I don't know if it's either me or you. He wants to know if we even have a job. He's getting very angry. I'm guessing he really enjoys this beta, which is good. I mean,
great.
That's one thing that I like. People are quick to call people negative and stuff, but you don't see me going into streams and asking the people who love this game, asking them, do you guys even have jobs? Like, what do you think? And I go into streams, I ask them what they think, and if they say that like today I went into Domtron's stream and he said that the shooting was close to SOCOM 1 and 2, and I totally disagree. I didn't shit on him for it. I was just like, I don't think it's like that at all. That's it. We had a nice discussion about it. You're in here, and you're grasping at straws, bro. I mean, you can insult people all you want, but it does, it's all up to SOF at the end of the day. And if they can't deliver in 11 days, I mean, what are we gonna say? Like, are you gonna defend them still? Like, what are you gonna say?
And I don't understand why just pointing out roadblocks. Now, mind you, I'm not creating these roadblocks that I'm describing. I'm just saying these are some hurdles that we're kind of seeing that they're going to have to overcome. And I just want a realistic viewpoint on it. That's all it is. I mean, people can be as happy about it, as optimistic about it as they want. That's fine. But hold on one second.
Yeah.
I got a phone call.
All right, yeah. Take that, man. X-War. How many members does TRS have? SOF has 10.5k at this point. Yeah, but what does that mean? TRS didn't start a Kickstarter to take, to get 250 grand to make a game. TRS is just a fan site. So what is that, like, I don't get what that means. I don't think there has been one person in here trying to defend this game without getting all defensive and throwing insults. No, I mean, Twitch Forums kind of kept control. Like, he's good. But, like, it just doesn't, I just don't get it. Like, I have my opinions. You guys have yours. To get, to get all defensive and get insulting about it doesn't make any fucking sense to me.
Well, I just don't understand. Sorry, I'm back.
Okay.
Ghosties. I don't understand why pointing things out like this is considered being a hater or or anything. I mean, you have to look at things in life the same way. I mean, you don't just walk in a situation saying everything's going to be all right, everything's going to be all right. When you have some major hurdles that you have got to tackle, you look at the situation, you look at the obstacle, you size it up, you figure out how to get around it, over it, whatever it's going to take, and push through that. And you point these things out. And this is about empowering our community, making people aware of where we're at and how far we need to go, and help the studio as much as possible. This is an indie studio. I mean, yeah, we've got a couple of developers that have some experience on their resume, no doubt. But we've got a lot of people in here that have never been involved with gaming ever. And they've got a very small staff that has to wear multiple hats, and not all those hats are hats that people have experience with. And what is the harm at the community saying, hey, we've been down this road with other developers, with AAA developers that had $20-30 million budgets, that we have watched crash and burn. And we've watched the community get divided multiple times and go through struggles and go through the waves and all of the emotions and all of this shit multiple times. There's history, experience, there's knowledge here. And some people are going to sugarcoat that shit. Some people are going to write you a nice long novel. Some people are going to spit it out in 2 sentences and just cut right to the bone and cut to the chase. Some people are going to, wrap it up in the form of entertainment like we're doing right now and talk about these things and offer gameplay and all this other stuff. It's going to be communicated in so many different ways, and people are going to do it differently. But everything needs to be talked about, and everything needs to be looked at from a realistic viewpoint, especially since this is such a heavily crowdsourced project. I don't understand that at all. Why people don't want to get involved and don't want to try to get organized. It's not about just marching in line and doing whatever a PR strategy or approach is wanting you to follow or wanting you to do. It's all about getting the best game, whether the studio has experience or whether they don't in certain categories, in certain situations. And they don't have time to tell us what they're just duct taping up or what they're really great at. We don't have time to discuss that, and really it's none of our fucking business, right? But at the same time, we can provide all this knowledge and all this information and put it out there and make it as accessible as possible and let the studio take and pick and grab and learn and pick and choose what they're going to need and what they can carry forward. I mean, it's the same approach. People are like, man, point out every bug report, fill all this out, get video of this, pictures of this, talk about this in the forums. Well, I'm looking at it from a different perspective as well. Some of us have been involved with this for a long time, and there's a lot more fucking important things involved with this project that we have knowledge on besides just fucking beta testing and running around and shooting each other in the goddamn nuts. You know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of things that some of us are professionals about in certain things in real life. There's things that we've been involved with developers. As a community, we've seen this we've gone down this road so many damn times, and I think it all needs to be talked about. And if people have a problem with it, then just tune out. Like, just ignore it. I have no problem with you being a cheerleader. I have no problem with people having complete hope and saying, hey, I'm not the guy who's going to focus on the obstacles. I'm going to be the guy that's constantly uplifting the studio and the employees there so that they can give their best foot forward every day. That's great. We need people like that as well. But we need a full 360, approach on this. And so I don't want to see the community who are in different roles and doing different things or looking at this in different perspectives to clash into one another. I think if you can't deal with those opinions, then don't read them or don't listen to them or don't, involve yourself with them. Go do what you want to do, what makes you happy and what you think benefits the studio. And if you find people that are like-minded, then group up and get organized and make it even better. That's awesome. But we need it all. The studio needs everything they can get, and we've given them a lot. But now it's go time. Now it's fucking go time. So I don't want to see this shit fail or anything, and I don't know how people have got that impression. Yeah, there's been some major fucking drama that's gone down, but I'm more professional than that. And I have shared my opinions on things about community things and advertising and PR and all kinds of stuff. There's things I have expertise on. There's things I don't have expertise on. Sometimes I'm talking out of my ass as a fan like everybody else, and sometimes I do know what the fuck I'm talking about. I'm just like anybody else. I mean, everybody has an opinion about this shit, but I just don't understand it. I mean, I embrace it all. I embrace all of it. And I would encourage everybody out there to do the same. And I would encourage the studio to be receptive. Because what you're seeing right now and what you've seen the past year and a half on TRS or wherever else is not is just a pinch of what will happen if you take this thing to PS4 and actually garner the interest of the what some people claim is a large community out there of Socom fans. There's not all PC gamers, or we're about to find out. Maybe there's more than we underestimated that. Who knows? We don't know how many Socom fans are out there. But I can tell you what, they've been a hell of a lot more brutal than anybody's been toward H-Hour. Like, hands fucking down. I mean, there's a database locked up at Socom.com. It's got over 1 million posts. And if anybody's forgotten, you can dig all the way back and see everything that happened with Confrontation and everything that happened with Socom 4. And mind you, what you read and what you find is long after it's been heavily moderated, stripped, cleaned out, flame wars put out, things deleted, things censored, things edited. Go back and see how brutal that was, and then take a look at anything that's happened in the last year and a half. It doesn't hold a candle. It doesn't hold a candle at all. So to me, we're not even in like a fiery mode in pitchforks. The only time the closest thing I've seen to pitchforks is when they hid the fact that David Sears was gone, and we kind of had to force that out ourselves because he was completely MIA, and we took note of it. That's the closest thing to pitchforks I've ever seen, and they shut down their whole freaking website over it. And that website's never been the same since. So what's going on right now, I think, is just a nice variety of opinions, and I think everybody needs to simmer down. Everybody needs to quit, viewing each other as a stumbling block. I think the SOCOM fan base is dwindling year by year by year by year, and I have thrown up estimates over the last 6-7 years of how big I really think the SOCOM fan base is, and I have no idea how big it is anymore. I don't know how many of us are left, and I just hate to see us go down in flames, cannibalizing the shit out of each other. We all have our own skill sets, our own roles, our own ideals, our own opinions. Everybody should put their own best foot forward and quit stepping on each other's foot. Who cares if it's negative? Sometimes when people tell me some negative shit, it lights a fire under my ass, and I make a change about it. I do something about it. Other times, I need to pick me up, and there's hate flying my way. And that one person or the group of small people, whatever, that gave me some love, gave me that little pat on the back that I needed to carry me on. That's just the way it is, and I think that we just need to have a very realistic, completely 360 viewpoint on this. And right now, after everything I've seen, I just happen to have this stance and this viewpoint. And I will adamantly put it out there to a certain extent. I mean, I'm not out on N4G right now dropping bombs on H-Hour or anything. I mean, people act like I'm launching a hate campaign. If you think this is me shitting on this game, then you seriously underestimate me. I have not shit on this game yet. I've poked a few jabs here and there. I have definitely made light of some problems with the beta, maybe on Twitter, or made a joke of it, but I haven't tried to destroy this project or take any major shots at anybody. So I hope everybody the best. I'm not taking really the beta tester role down this road this time. I mean, I'll play it, but I'm not writing reports and filling out bug reports and having people post them for me on the website I'm banned from right now. So I know they're reading TRS. If I think there's something important, I'll post it up there. I know they'll see it. And that's that. Any questions?
Yeah, I think you need to catch up on chat, man. A lot of questions getting thrown out.
Okay.
A lot of comments. I don't even know where to start, man. So many people were posting. But, I mean, at least, oh, god damn it. At least you can get an opinion out to these guys. Because they're all listening, man.
Yeah, I kind of forgot I was in a live stream for a second.
It's all good.
I don't know. We'll see. People just need to speak their mind.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, I know I've sidelined for a while, but there's some things I had to calm down about. I couldn't talk without spitting fire sometimes, so I maybe had to take a couple weeks off. Maybe I didn't talk about certain subjects, and maybe I was accused of being a sideliner at the time and not tweeting and not making YouTube videos and all that. I just didn't have the passion to put in that kind of work. I put that passion and that work into real life and built some equity there instead. But I don't know, man. I am weary. I've been long down the Socom road, long down this HR road, back since the Shock Studio days. So I don't know, man. I don't know. They've I've seen sparks of talent. I know there's talented people there. But man, the 21st. That's that's a tough one.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, so what are the questions? I can't read and talk
okay.
at the same
Yeah,
time.
yeah.
I'm not that talented.
Okay, so I'm not in the beta and cannot read the beta forums. What is the general consensus over there?
I can't read or access the beta forums either.
General consensus over there. A lot of people keep using the word potential. There's a lot of you see posts people say like my impressions with the alpha, and then they start off with the positives, and the positives are going to be 10 to 12 things, and then they go into the negatives, and it's long paragraphs. There's more negative stuff than positive, but people are still optimistic.
Yeah, and I mean, one thing I've learned is that developers don't have time to read all those long-winded posts.
Right.
I mean, because our community can fucking write, and
Yep.
I'm one of the biggest culprits. The only person who's got me beat in that department is probably Toonstone. I mean, I write, but what happens is you have a select few that have to read through all of that and filter all of that and basically sum up your thoughts. And that was one reason that TRS was even made in the first place. A lot of the guys got together and we were just kind of chit-chatting on Skype, and we're just thinking, man, the developers really have time to, does Jeremy and Robert, have time to read like all the shit that we're typing up? I mean, seriously, I can post a new thread on Socom.com back in the day, go check my mail and take a few bites of a fucking apple and sit back down. I'm already on page 2 or something. I'm like,
Yeah.
wow.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, those forums were bumping. And there was no way 2, 3, 4 people could have read it all. I mean, I struggled to read it all myself, and I was a crack whore on that shit, reading it 24/7. And so we started having little 30-minute, 45-minute conversations on Skype, and kind of turn them into some little makeshift shift podcast. And then we started making arts and SIGs and forum SIGs and YouTube videos, and just trying to find ways to bundle and package that information or community opinion in something that a developer could consume very quickly. The same approach that companies use to sell you a product, because they know you're not going to read long paragraphs about how awesome their product is. So it's the same mindset. And then so it just kind of evolved into a website. And then I will point out that one of the biggest reasons, besides Socom.com shutting down, that I think TRS has been around for so damn long, is when you push consumers away and they have other outlets, they're going to go to those other outlets and they're going to bring it on times 10. That's another reason TRS deals with a lot of hate, because by the time a lot of newcomers come to TRS, they're pretty pissed off or frustrated. They're coming there because they've been suppressed elsewhere. And by the time they arrive at our website, where we're not going to ban them or delete their criticisms, there's a lot more spite on it. They've sharpened that edge a lot more, and they're pissed off. And then when something dramatic really happens, when there's a lot of passion wrapped up, and I will say, H-Hour has got some really strong emotional ties with the SOCOM community, and there's a variety of reasons why, and a lot stronger than I've seen in some other previous SOCOMs. I mean, yeah, it was all about brotherhood and clans, but man, there are some people that are just really. I don't think it matters really almost about the game to a certain extent. It's about the story and supporting the developer and being on the inside finally of a development process like this, or getting acknowledgement from community people and being in that position now, or I don't know what it is, but the emotional attachment to this specific game is strange almost compared to some previous SOCOM projects. It's very different. So I'm learning a lot of new stuff from the community too. And the other thing that makes all of this really hard to deal with is we've got a lot of new names, a lot of people that aren't familiar faces to a lot of us, who have been posting and been online for 7 or 8 years. And some of them say, "Hey, I've been around just as long as you have," and we didn't know who the hell these people were a year or two ago. And so getting to learn those people and those opinions, and seeing an overwhelmingly amount of them actually be very, very supportive of H-Hour, That's been interesting as well, because you have a group that has newly established equity in the eyes of the social media world of Socom that are trying to leverage just as hard as people that have been on the front lines of this for a really long time. And I think a lot of people's toes get stepped on. But yeah, I'm doing a lot of talking, Big Fry.
It's all good. People are loving it.
Are they?
Yeah, I mean, I hope so. Anyway.
I'm not even reading it.
Yeah, I gotta scroll up here a little bit. My bot took over. Somebody started a little mini game in chat.
Yeah, what's up with the heist? I thought you had like something left over from Grand Theft Auto 5 or something.
Yeah.
Just roll it into this Twitch.
No, I have a point system tied to the stream, so the more people watch, the more points they earn, and then I do giveaways and stuff, and yeah, it's just something to keep people coming back, keep people entertained when I'm in an intense moment or something.
Okay.
So Boomstick says, Luke, I love you. One life to live. Luke, telling the truth.
As long as not everybody out there hates me, I guess I'm doing okay.
Oh, I'm sure there's a group out there who does, but chances are they're not watching this stream. So
well, you underestimate. Anyways, somebody's watching it.
Yeah.
Let me lose my train of thought thinking about that now.
Twitch forum. Who is talking? This is Lukenbacher from the TRS forums, the real Socom.
Yeah. Yeah, I forgot what I was going to say. Apparently it wasn't that important.
It's all good. So, how many hours do you have sunk in the game right now?
I have no idea. I would be surprised if I have more than 2 or 3.
More than 2 or 3? Okay.
Yeah.
Do you feel like you've seen everything you need to see?
I'll definitely still keep tabs on it and pop in, especially on any updates. I don't think... Let me just put it this way. I feel like somebody I know, an associate, has asked for me to come over and help give some expertise on this racing motorcycle that he's building. He's been telling me all about it, man. Like all this badass shit he's got on it, and it's all tricked out. And, you know, I show up and it's 2 tires and a frame and some handlebars. Like for me, like there's just a lot of basics here that are just missing. And the things that need to be tuned and need our input on are pretty fucking obvious. There's a few small things, I mean, that maybe the studio's not aware of. I mean, things like the binoculars freezing up. Maybe they were aware of that. Maybe this is just a temporary build that was the middle stepping stone between the alpha shit that you guys played and this miracle patch that's coming tomorrow, supposedly. Whatever it is. So, what was the question again?
Do you feel like you've seen everything you need to see?
Yeah, I have. To a certain extent, I have. I mean, I'll keep tabs on it, but it was the bike analogy. That's what it was. So,
yeah.
Sorry, my girlfriend just got here, so I got.
All good.
Anyways, yeah. So I feel like I showed up and it's just not there. Like the point in the secret sauce, there's all the ingredients aren't there to I think really tune and tweak everything, and the things that need to happen is just kind of. I think it's just really obvious shit. I mean, everybody knows the weapons need to be tuned. The studio knows the weapons need to be tuned. I mean, anything we're pointing out, I'm pretty sure, the studio has figured out, or their next patch is just going to omit it all. I almost feel like sometimes we're kind of here for the show. Yeah, we kind of help a little bit, but hey, we told you you're going to be in a beta, or we told you you're going to be an alpha, and we just kind of go through the motions, or we told you there's going to be a private forums with polls, and we're going to take you through this ridiculous 3-step process where we vote on what's going to be on the poll, and you can't respond to anybody's comments or make any decisions as a community. You know, it's just all about individual opinions, and we tally that shit up, and there's no cohesion. And man, I've seen polls where people point some shit out that maybe a majority didn't even fucking think about, and everybody's like, you know what, that dude's fucking right. Like, we need to do it this way. And then everybody's on board with that shit. I mean, just boom, 90%. There it is. And not being able to really discuss that and debate that and figure out how people really feel and think. I don't know, man. It's just... And then the third phase, we finally do get the fucking vote on the poll, and then I've yet to see those features in this shit. And that was like a year and a half ago. And, I mean...
I mean, bullet trails aren't in. I know that poll happened. That's not there. Melee's not in, I guess.
And I shouldn't even be complaining because half those features they don't even define SOCOM.
No.
Like, why were those the focal points of polls to begin with?
I don't know.
And then so I think a lot of people just assume that we're just going to get, the SOCOM. I mean, what happened to that list that David laid out for the Kickstarter when the money really started rolling in?
Mm-hmm.
When he busted out the Reddit IMA and really answered everybody's question, and really laid it out, and then all of us consumed that up and made our videos and pushed it out there, and there was a significant spike in funding once that happened. Significant. So I don't know, man. I don't want to rain on anybody's parade. If this is some people's first rodeo, or this is their last hoorah, and they want to have fun, and whatever happens, they don't care, but it's going to be positive from here on out, I have no problems with that at all. Just don't take a shit on me when I try to help my way.
Yep.
That's all I care about. Most of the time, it'll roll off my back, but every now and then you'll catch me in the right mood. I mean, I'm human. You'll catch me in the mood, and I ain't gonna rip your head off unless I know I'm right. So yeah. I don't know. Everybody just needs to respect everybody, man. That's all. That's all I want to see. A lot of people got unbanned. Go to Softs, post that shit up. Since day fucking one, all of our staff members have told everybody to get involved with Softs on their website and all that stuff. Even when the partnership of TRS being severed, I made a post over there that says I still back this project 100%, and everybody needs to, keep helping the studio out and doing what they do. And so I think everybody should post that shit. That's where it belongs. That's what that website is designed for. TRS is not a competitor. TRS doesn't care about traffic. We don't care about fucking ad revenue. That's why we only have one banner and one little shitty ad at the bottom. There's no pop-ups and all that bullshit. We don't break our articles down to 15 clicks so you can read the whole fucking article with 6 ads on each one. I mean, I wish TRS didn't have to exist. I mean, seriously, I know it's been great and the community's been awesome, and yeah, I've had fun and kind of got involved a little bit with advertising and marketing because I had an interest in this kind of stuff. Yeah, that's great and all, but I wish that website didn't have to exist. When SOCOM was great, I wasn't a forum nerd, man. I wasn't. I didn't start posting on forums until Confrontation. Because there really wasn't that big of a problem. I mean, cheaters were a big issue, and I would read forums for updates. But yeah, I didn't participate into them until things really became a problem. But this is CD Drive's got a question. I just looked at it. Luke, what is the single most important change that could happen to improve your perspective of the game at the moment? Now, this is any change, right? Or like, is this like pipe dream change, or is this like something realistic in the game to change?
Let's go in the next 11 days, realistic.
A delay.
A delay, yeah, alright.
That's that would be my answer to that question.
Okay,
A delay. Pipe dream?
yeah, let's do pipe dream.
David Sears comes back.
Ooh, okay.
Or an investor drops a bag of money on the table.
Okay.
Like a real investor, not a buddy, not a loan, not a 401k, like a real legit investor.
Yeah.
Preferably a video game investor that sees potential in this as a video game. So that's my answers. Any other questions?
Guys, bring him. You got the man here.
Yeah, my girl just got home, so she's
right.
about to get all my attention. So I've got about like 5 or 10 minutes.
All right, Caustic Cheetah.
I got some questions.
Let's
And
talk
no,
about...
I can't talk about anything crazy, drama, partnership, consulting I've done or whatever. I can't talk about that shit. So don't even bother typing that up.
Let's talk about a major change to gameplay. Gameplay only.
The bullets and the guns firing from the hip have to be accurate.
Okay.
Above scopes. Thank God there's not a damn ADS system in this thing. But firing from the hip on those weapons have got to be accurate. I have a video. I'm not plugging myself, but it's the best explanation I've seen anywhere from the SOCOM community in that short period of time. Recoil versus bullet spray, and I made it during the SOCOM 4, and it's a comparison to Confrontation. Now, Confrontation fucked a lot of shit up, but the gun mechanics were right. They got that right, if you ask me. Yeah, it could have been tweaked a little bit, but it was pretty solid. I think they need to move away from the random bullet spray. I've tested it on walls. I've taken photos of it. I know what it looks like. I know what the spread's acting like. I've seen the bullet tracers clear across the map be multiple feet off from crosshairs. That needs to change. The competitive edge, the skill factor, everything depends on the gun game. Bragging rights, all that stuff, clans, wars, everything is all about the gun game. That's the most important thing that they have to nail. That's the number one reason I'm not really playing this beta. I'm tired of just randomly fucking shooting or having to pop shot one shot at a time while I'm strafing like a lunatic just to have an accurate shot. Drives me up the wall. So that needs to change ASAP. They should put all of their focus and time and attention on gun game, because let me tell you, we aren't the only ones who care about gun game. That's going to be a thing across the board when it comes to competitive PC shooter fans.
Yep.
So it's all about gun game.
Yeah, I totally agree. The gun game is most important. If we could play this at a competitive level, I'd be happy, because I could at least get some fun out of it, knowing that I'm doing something worthwhile, and that all my kills aren't just random fucking bullets flying everywhere and getting a headshot, much like SOCOM 4.
Yeah, I mean, you can't have luck in the gun game. There's so many other factors in SOCOM that create scenarios of luck. Whether it's just timing or how people arrive, or a series of events on teammates that died, or a series of events that led to health being depleted and you're low on health and at a disadvantage. There's all these factors that bring in luck. My skill in aiming and my reflexes and quickness should not be one of them that's involved with that whatsoever. There has to be very clear-cut features and clear-cut things that are very dependable, that are absolute anchor points for this game, that sets the foundation for the competitive edge to begin with. And gun game is the biggest fucking pillar on the table. And yeah, they should be putting all their eggs in that basket right now.
So they do that, they patch it, nail it. Is the general community going to be receptive to this build? No, because what we see potential. So if they fix the gun game, we can have fun with this, because now it's reminding, now it's playing like a SOCOM game. But guys out in the general public who don't know what a SOCOM game is, or have heard of it but haven't played it, they're gonna want more features. They're gonna want a farther along build. 2 maps and a team deathmatch is not enough to capture a PC guy. It has to be farther along than it is.
Well, I'm pretty sure they're going to have at least another map and at least another game mode and some tweaks and tunes before early access. But
I don't think there's going to be another map.
You don't?
No, I don't. I really don't think so.
I've heard a rumor that there's a map file
called Zoo. Yes.
Called Zoo, and that there's also a game mode file that's labeled All for One.
Okay.
So I don't know if that's something that's way down the road. I don't know if that's just something a developer threw in there to create some more conspiracy theorists to play with, or I don't know.
Okay, I have an idea. I'm gonna jump out of this server browser. I'm gonna see if I can do the same thing that I did in the alpha. I'm gonna see if this works just for a second here, guys. So bear with me. How do I get a local game here? How do I create my own game?
You just go to create, and you can join the room solo, I believe.
Yeah,
but see here, stop right here. Stop right here, because
up?
I want people to see this. I don't think people who haven't tested the beta probably haven't seen this. Haven't seen anybody talk about this. When you go to create game,
here, let me go back
you have
here, sorry.
Yeah, you have your map rotation. What'd you do?
Yeah, I went into the game. Let me get back here. Create.
Okay, yeah, we'll have to wait for your delay. I think I can talk about it from memory. But if you notice, you can change the rounds there. That was something else I didn't understand. Why did they launch this thing with like 5 rounds what was it, like 3 rounds in 5 minutes each or something stupid. I
Well,
was just like, what the fuck?
yesterday I thought it was 7 rounds, and today it seems to be 5. I'm not
Five.
sure.
Maybe different servers have different number of rounds, but if you look here on create the game, the number of rounds, look how far up they go. I mean, is there any cap on it?
60.
You can go up to 60 rounds?
Yeah.
Holy shit, I didn't even test to see how far it would go. But you can adjust all that, the round time, all that stuff. I'm not sure what online, offline means. I don't know if that's something that's LAN related.
Gotta be.
I don't know what it is. But I just wanted people to know that this is kind of what the create your own, lobby room thing kind of looks like. But yeah, you can join this, and I think you can start and play around in the map by yourself.
Yeah, definitely. One Life. There's a DG spin-off, but like I said, I don't know if it's going to be ready in 11 days. I don't know how long they've been developing, and my game just crashed as soon as I hit ready. Actually, I think I need somebody else in the game in order to start it.
You want me to join in real quick?
Yeah, I just want to, because I know how to travel. I know how to travel between files. As long as the alpha or as long as the beta works just like the alpha, I think I can access Zoo. I think we'll see here, but create, like the thing is I don't know if you're gonna be able to join it.
I'm not.
Like that's the shitty thing. So here, let's go back.
You can join an empty server by yourself and
But
start.
I don't know if I'm able to server travel because I'm not controlling it. You know what I mean?
No, I don't.
Like I can type. Hold on. If you're watching the stream right now, I can type server travel, HH_zoo, and I can hit enter and I can join it. But I need to be in a server, and I think I need to be in a local server. So here, let's try this. I can join local game. Let me see if I can do this. If not, we'll just jump right back into game. But I know this is how I access Wolf Run in the alpha. Now it's not working for me. I can't get into... I actually can't get out of my dev console. Hold up here. I'm going to see if I can get this going for you guys. Maybe we can get a look at the game. Or at the other map. Because it's there. This wasn't an alpha, and this map might be the DG
Well,
spec.
I heard from a little birdie that during the early alpha days, Sysmus wasn't available either, but somebody was able to access the game files and was able to pull up a fly-through. And I actually had a video of a fly-through of the Sysmus church. And I was like, man, this doesn't look anything like the video that they released over a year ago with Sears. And I was like, what the hell happened to the church, man?
So, okay, let's join this local game. Because if I can load this up, that'd be fucking fantastic.
So what are you trying to do here?
So what happens is you hit your dev console and it doesn't look like it's working. But you can hit your dev console, and in the alpha, I could type in a code and I could switch between Sysmus and the firing range, which is where you could test some of the guns that weren't in the build yet, that weren't in game. So what you do is, it looks like my dev console isn't actually working anymore. That's weird.
So it's just like in Counter-Strike, like when we have to punch in codes for Socom Go. Is that pretty much the same thing?
It's the exact same thing.
Okay.
Yeah, exact same thing. We were in Chicago. I'll fuck with that another day and see if I can get some footage for everybody, but I'll join back into Chicago too and keep this rolling.
Any other final questions before I head out? I appreciate you streaming for us, man.
Yeah, no, it's all good, man. It's all good. It's fun. I love to. I mean, if any chance to get to talk in SOCOM, it's fine.
I didn't feel like dealing with it, man. I'm not gonna put a camera on me and
Yeah, it's all good.
all that crazy stuff.
Caustic says, didn't look like it. Oh, he's referring to the church. Good or bad? The church in the alpha didn't. It was bad. Like it didn't even look. It wasn't even close. And that's the thing about showing gameplay early. I know they labeled it as not indicative of final quality, but usually when people do that in betas, it just means it's going to get better. Not step backwards.
CD Drive put up a comment on the dev console. He said it was like open_HH_ quote map quote.
Open. Okay. See. Yeah. Okay. Open. HH_zoo. Here it is. Okay, okay, I know what this is. I know what this is. This is the test map that they had in the alpha. So guys, this is Zoo. So we'll just dead this conspiracy right now. We'll just go through here. Yeah, this when we were in alpha, this was called test map. It's just a bunch of boxes. It's kind of like an obstacle course.
Oh, okay. Just a little arena.
Yeah, just a little nice arena. So yeah, no third map in the build yet. Once it is there, that's how we know we can move around. So.
Oh, I noticed another glitch. Something that really annoys me is that I can't minimize the HR screen. So basically, if I have like a Skype message or something on my main screen, because I have dual monitors,
Right.
I can't switch between the monitors. I can't minimize one of my screens to access anything. And when I come back on a new round, my character will freeze. I can pan my camera, but my character won't move, and I have to fire a bullet, and then my character will
Oh,
move.
yep. Same thing here. Yep.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, people are saying they actually like how bright it is. Yeah. This is lighting looks decent. Skybox is cool. So yeah, there's that.
Okay, so there isn't a third map. That conspiracy theory is squashed.
Yeah. Oh, and I hit escape. So I gotta quit, restart the game. I don't know if you guys are watching it on stream, but if you hit escape while you're streaming, it fucks your OBS up. But yeah, Luke, I mean, if you need to go spend time with the lady friend.
Well, let me see here. Any final questions? Why did Sears leave Soft? Any info? I can't touch that, man. That involves somebody's personal life. I've heard some pieces of a story, but I don't know the entire story. And it's just not respectful for me to even speak about it. So if one day Sears wants to talk about why he left, then we'll have to wait for that. I think there was one more that I saw that. Yeah, the DG spinoff was a good question. I heard a rumor about that as well. I haven't heard anything else about it.
Yeah, like I said, if it takes as much time as Wolf Run has taken, I can't imagine that being in early access. Unless they've been developing it for the last 6 months and just haven't told anybody, which could be the status quo at this point.
One Life to Live said he had a question. Okay, with the Kickstarter, why not develop with PS4 first and release the PSN? It's interesting you say that, One Me to Live. I don't know to what extent my NDA is. All I will say is that is a very logical approach to HR, and I think at some point that was considered and probably attempted, or at least assessed. I think that any company attempting this project who didn't size that approach up would have been extremely foolish. And that's all I will say on that matter.
There
Any
you
other?
go.
One more question.
One more question. Let's see here. Asking about Turban, asking about Sears. DG spinoff. Scale from 1 to 10. Hope for this game, Luke. Is there hope for the title in your eyes?
Damn it, Abel.
Essentially, closing thoughts.
Wait. I'm gonna pull an Abel Green. I'm gonna steal a shit. That's a tough question. Scale 1 to 10. Hope for this game. Can I answer that tomorrow morning after the patch? Can I see at least how big this patch is and how much it transforms? I don't want to eat crow. My personal hope is probably less than 5. To be brutally honest. At what I'm seeing right now, it's less than 5. If they delay it, I'll give it a 6.
There you go. Yeah, I mean, I'm in the same boat. What do I want? I want a 10.
I want it to end too.
But yeah, there's just so many variables right now that we just don't even know. Like, there's so many questions unanswered still.
If Sears was here, 9 or 10, hands down.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even care what state the game was in. If Sears was here and he wasn't going anywhere, we'd be fine. That's just me. Sorry to anybody at the studio if that offends them. That's just the way I feel. My confidence, my money, everything on this project was in Sears. And since he's left, I question everything. And I don't think that I should be ostracized for having that viewpoint. Maybe I need to... I think I've gotten better about the personal shit and not being so spiteful when I talk about certain things. But I am human, so that will happen from time to time. I am not a professional in the gaming industry whatsoever. I am a Socom fan with a fan site. I have no obligations, no requirements, or anything, but I still think I put a pretty professional foot forward. So, but yeah, that's me. That's less than 5, 6 with a delay. Not Turbine. If Sears was there, 9 or 10. If they landed an investor, I'd give it a 7 or 8. But that's a lot of what ifs.
Yeah. Last time before you go, have you heard from Turbine? And people just want to know how he is because he's been pretty silent. You don't have to go, but
Yeah, I tried to reach out to Turbine, and he hasn't responded back either. And I asked a friend who's closer to him than I am, I guess you could say, to be sure he was okay. What I heard is that he's just been really, really busy with work. I noticed he had tweeted something about not receiving the beta code on Twitter, so I know he's just really busy. That's what I heard. I haven't heard that he's upset, or I haven't heard that he's working on a new video. I haven't heard anything other than he's just busy, man. He's working. I know that he's a big family man now, and I think his priorities are right in life. It's work and family. Those are coming first for Turbine right now. There was a time in Turbine's life where his priorities were different. He didn't have those responsibilities, or at least at that level. And he spent his time to entertain the hell out of us. And I'm glad that I got to see those years and that content from Turbine. I don't think we'll ever see those years again. Yeah, he's doing fine. He's just being a dad and working his ass off like any respectable man should do.
all right, man. Well, I mean, fuck, we nailed every question. What up, Extreme Warfare? But yeah, Luke, if you have to go, man, take care. Have a good rest of the night. I'll be streaming for a little bit more. So.
Is that well? Thank you, man. Thank you again for doing this.
Yeah, no problem.
Before I go, is that boomstick? Is that the boomstick? Like the boomstick that is from Texas that I flew to Seattle with? That community day at Zipper Interactive, is it the same boomstick or is that a different boomstick? I gotta know because that boomstick disappeared. I haven't heard anything from him for a really long time. So if that's him, I wanted to say hello.
All right, we'll give him a minute to catch up to stream, and hopefully he answers.
Yeah, I gotta know. I lost contact with that. That was a cool dude.
Socom 2 boomstick. It very well could be.
I don't know.
You're just on the edge of your seat.
Well, there's some OG people that are watching this stream that knows who I'm talking about. They remember him from Socom.com and all that stuff.
No, there's 2. Oh.
You're still cool too, Boomstick.
Right.
All right, man. I gotta get out of here.
Yeah.
I appreciate you, Big Fry. Thanks for doing it, man. Keep doing your thing. I'll just leave the stream up. You gonna close out the night or what?
Yeah. I'll play for a little bit more. I'm gonna get Abel in here for a little bit, have a little conversation, and yeah, we'll close out the night.
What's up, Abel?
Thank
you for giving me the hardest damn question of the night. Bastard.
Yeah.
Anyways, thanks guys. Y'all have fun.
Yeah, have a good night, man.
All right, catch you later, man.